Tigers got healthy, 1-1. Now, the preseason, if you will, the preliminary is over with. They face 16th-ranked Georgia. All eyes are at Mizzou Saturday night. Howard Richards is going to be in the booth, the voice of the Tigers. He's going to bring it to you on the Big 550 KTRS. Good morning, Howard Richards.
Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today?
Good. So just to touch on last week's game, it seems like they got healthy, they got a little confidence, and they worked out all the preseason kinks.
They did look a lot better than they looked in the opener against West Virginia. I thought the offense really showed a lot of improvement from the previous week. It just seemed that everything was clicking. You know, the running game still needs work. But I think that with the work that these players are putting in during the week, that measured progress that I've talked about pretty often, I think they're starting to understand that, and they're starting to realize that. So, granted, Eastern Michigan is not an SEC foe, but I still think there were so many really good takeaways from Saturday night's game that hopefully will carry over into the Georgia game.
Yeah, no, I mean, the first game of the year, you're all amped up. You're on the road. It's a new coach. It's a new world. It's a whole new bunch of players. So you can imagine that they settled in. Now comes Georgia. Welcome to the SEC. No rest for the weary as Georgia comes in. That's a tough opening game for SEC play.
It certainly is. And, Georgia, they also have a new coach, Kirby Smart, who used to be the defensive coordinator for Alabama under Nick Saban. So I fully expect this team will be much like the team that Barry Odom has, a lot of youth, but they'll be very well prepared. I mean, it should be a very, very high energy game. And I expect Kirby Smart to really open up his playbook to try to do whatever he can to shut down what appears to be a pretty potent Missouri offense.
So, what is it? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second.
It happens.
any big deal that it being Saturday night versus Saturday day? Any more pressure? Any more things they have to deal with, considering it's going to be under the lights and a rowdier crowd and everything?
I don't think so. I think as a player, just from my own experience, I didn't particularly care for night games because you get all day just kind of lying around in anticipation of the game. So by the time it does roll around, you're almost exhausted from expending the energy and the anxiety. I would much rather play an afternoon game, but it's great for the fans. I think you've got, for those that were out imbibing the night before, they've got a longer recovery time on Saturday. But the atmosphere should be good. The weather should be great. Again, being another SEC foe, a giant like Georgia, all the tools are there for a pretty tremendous matchup.
Yeah, Howard, you've seen Mizzou, from their humble beginnings now to be a big SEC game. The atmosphere is great, and I guess that's why they're bringing in all these recruits for this weekend.
This is always a marquee type of matchup when you want to show off, what you've been doing with your new football team, and these recruits. A lot of these guys are looking at both schools.
Right.
So naturally, Missouri will want to put on its best effort, and the recruits will get a chance to see all the facilities, and the atmosphere should be pretty electric. I mean, there were 51,000 people for the previous home game, but this weekend, I would be shocked if it's not a sellout.
Yeah.
Especially the way the Tigers played last weekend, and having Georgia in town, it should be a pretty good showcase.
How good is this Nick Chubb they keep talking about?
Nick Chubb is widely considered among the best running backs in all of college football. Minus the injury that he had, a devastating injury last year. It's amazing that he was able to come back. He rushed for 222 yards in their first outing. He was limited to 80 last week, but he's still Nick Chubb. He's an elite running back. He's very strong in both upper body and lower body. The thing that Missouri has to do very quickly is tackle. They've got to tackle much, much better than they did last week. He's a guy, Nick Chubb, you cannot tackle him below the knees or around the ankles because he'll run right through those tackles. You got to get him up high, and he's got a swarm tackle. So defensively, I know it's been a focus this week for them to tackle better, and let's hope they get it done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Howard, you're busy working while the rest of us are enjoying all the tailgating going on, which is what makes the Saturday night game so much fun. You're busy working, but we'll be listening to you on the radio and enjoying a nice beverage and a nice barbecue hot dog or two. So, Howard, thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good call.
Thanks, McGraw.